What is good with my people out there, man? It's your round, Pat Boy Dolo, tapping back in with another episode of the Round the Clock Thinker Show. And I just want to say, shout out to my people, man. I hope everything is going good with you. If you're new here, I'm an assiduous researcher and distributor of knowledge and truth, whatever that may look like. So you can say that I'm like the YouTube journalist. I'm like the internet journalist. You know what I'm saying? Even though that, look, I'm like this in real life. You feel me? I feel like at the end of the day, becoming better isn't a one quick fix type of deal. It's not like driving a car. You learn how to drive the car, and then once you get it, you got it. That's not how becoming better actually works, because you need reminders. We need reminders. You know what I mean? So, that's why you see me popping on here all the time, talking the talk, because we need reminders. This information is important. You know what I mean? And as long as you got the reminders, though, and you remain serious about the information and the application of the information, then you know what? Things may just work out how you need them to work out. You feel me? But today, we're going to be talking about how we base our sense of self on the wrong things. And this is going to tie into something I was meditating on earlier, on how, we believe so much in perfection that will cause you to not make any progression. I'm going to say that again. If we believe too much in perfection, right, that'll cause us to not make any progression. And based off that, I feel like they say you have to crawl before you walk. Hey, that's very true. You have to crawl before you walk. And most of us get caught up into perfection. We want to run as soon as we get the idea of being better. We want to start running instead of taking it a step at a time. First you start to crawl, then you start to walk, then you start to jog, and eventually you start to run. But you have to be patient with yourself. Patient. You feel me? And I'm sipping water. I'm sipping that good H20. This is the Light After the Dark show. It's been a while since I did one of these, and actually it's a little bit more light in here than it usually is, because I'm just testing stuff out. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing some testing on the style that I want to shoot. Sometimes I just be rule bending. I don't give a fuck, Viewers' discretions is advised, by the way. But let's roll into this, man. Let's talk about this topic. How we base our sense of self on the wrong things. So usually these things are external. And I've made this mistake myself. What I mean is this: things outside of us tend to have more power over us than we have over ourselves. And make sure you stick around for the last piece, because the last piece is one of the most important facts. And when I elaborate on that, I feel like it'll change the game for you. Okay? But right now, check this piece out. I'm going to read it again. Other opinions could knock you off track. Excuse me, I'm moving ahead of myself. Things outside of us tend to have more power over us than we have over ourselves. Okay, now let's roll into the first start point. Other opinions could knock you off track more than your own opinion of yourself. And see, that's how we're wired, right? Basing your sense of self on the wrong things. But we're wired that way. So how the hell do we change that? Right? How do we change the fact that others' opinions can knock us off track more than our own opinion of ourselves? We have to place the importance on our opinion over others' opinion over an extended amount of time. You have to do it over and over and over again in order for it to start to stick and make sense to you, in order for your opinion to start feeling more important, more stronger than what others think. If you're already wired that way from the jump, and some people, man, they got so lucky because they had parents or mentors that came into their life when they were like teenagers or younger and taught them and conditioned them to have a higher opinion of themselves and put the importance on their opinion over others' opinion. And they gave them plenty concrete examples on why others' opinions are subjective. Usually, others' opinions, for one, they aren't true because a person really don't even know you. For two, sometimes what you think others are thinking, they're not even thinking. Right? So it's things like this that'll cause us to reduce the amount of importance that we place on others' opinions or thoughts or whatever they're over there thinking, whatever they're over there doing, whatever they got going on. Really, in reality, is none of your damn business. Only business you have is yours, because you operate from within you. You operate from inside of you. And allowing things outside of you to cause you to be affected, that could catch up with you and cause it could be detrimental to your own success, right? Based off of your imagination. You see what I'm saying? Based off your imagination. And guess who else opinion could affect you? Your opinion. If you hold a bad opinion of yourself, you can affect you on top of others' opinions. Right? So the key here is to have a great opinion of yourself, place importance on that opinion, the opinion that you have of yourself, the positive opinion, place importance on that opinion, create evidence that make these opinions become concrete facts through evidence. You know what I'm saying? I personally believe that confidence comes from evidence. So it's the same with others' opinions. Having concrete evidence that what they're thinking is either not true and or doesn't even matter. Okay? So that's the piece right there on opinions. It's very important, and it's really where everything starts. But right now we're talking about generally how we base our sense of self on the wrong things, meaning the things outside of us. There's many things outside of us, and there's only few things inside of us. And one of those things that are very, very important is how we think of ourselves. Our opinion of ourselves will affect how we feel about ourselves, which then will affect how we move around in the world and present ourselves to other people if we're placing more importance on their opinion than ours. Okay? So let's roll into the next point here. Others' lives will make you compare yourself to them and therefore undermine who you are. I'm going to say it again. Others' lives will make you compare yourself to them and therefore undermine who you are. Or are you comparing yourself to someone else and what they have and what they're doing and who they are, and placing them on a pedestal and undermining yourself, undermining who you are, when in fact you don't even really know what you're looking at. A lot of times when shit looks sweet on the outside, looking at someone else's life, you get close enough and you find out that, look, it's way different on the inside. It wasn't even what you thought it was if you get close enough. So that's an illusion that you're playing off of when you're watching someone else's life and undermining yourself and dumbing yourself down, beating yourself up for not meeting a certain standard or being a certain way. When you're so unique and so much better off than most of these people that you're looking at, you don't even realize it. The key is tapping into you and turning towards the mirror and turning your back towards others. Turning your back on others. Who cares what they're doing? Do you think, in most cases, do you think these people actually give a fuck about you? No. Do you think that they will show up to your funeral? Or say, for example, when you become unalived and no one could pay for the funeral expenses, do you think that they will pitch even $1 towards the expenses of your funeral? Probably not. So while you're here, fuck what they think. Who gives a fuck what they think? There's none of our business. Our business is our business. Once again, your business is your business. What they eat won't make you shit. What they drink won't make you piss. You see what I'm saying? You have to focus on your operation and what you're doing and being the best version of yourself. And keeping in mind that even in life, it's like fucking Instagram. Instagram plays a big role in this too, where people are looking at this social media app and they see how people are living and they think that people are really living like that. 90 to 95% of that shit is all facade. It's a cover up. It's so many ways that you can manipulate images and create vibes from an image nowadays. Are you kidding me? Right? So I'm on some real shit. My life peaceful in real life. In real life. My life is lovely in real life. Why? Because I've created it that way. I keep the static low. I keep sour bitches out of my life. You see what I'm saying? I keep sour people away from me. You see what I'm saying? I keep them away from me. Out of my proximity. They can't reach me. I'm unreachable. And that creates a peaceful life for me in real life. And I focus on that. You see what I'm saying? I focus on continuously cultivating that and staying busy on what I'm doing. I got so much shit going on. I ain't got time to be worried about what nobody else motherfucking thinking or doing or saying or feeling. I don't care. I have enough to deal with me. And working on and building myself and cultivating my sense of self and my identity. I don't give a fuck what nobody else thinking or fuck that. You know what I'm saying? And I've grown so much to the point where so many times over the last few years where I was working on myself, and I wanted to go upside a motherfucker head for saying some slick shit. And I wanted to tap into that old version of me and stomp their face in. Guess what? I was strong enough to let that go and let it slide. And when I look back on it, I say, you know what? Damn, man. That's dope. That's when you know you've grown. That's dope. The times that I wanted to slap the taste out of a motherfucking mouth for saying something slick to me, but I didn't. I held my tongue. I just walked away. This power is strength in it. Don't ever forget that. That's what you call strength. It's easy to fire off. It's easy. Now, I'm not telling you to be a fucking pushover. You stand on what you need to stand on, but a lot of shit is just unnecessary and avoidable. And if I can avoid it, I'm gonna avoid it. Feel me? Because I like my freedom. I like to continue to cultivate this peaceful, lovely life of mine. You know what I'm saying? That I build and work on every single day. That's what That's what I like to do. So your life is way more important than you think it is. In fact, it's so important that you should focus on it. And it sounds so simple, but most people do not focus on their life. They're so damn caught up and tangled up into what other people are doing, man, it don't make no damn sense. And it confused them because they start living unconsciously, subconsciously, they start living vicariously through someone else's life. Yeah, they do. And everything that they do, that other person does, it has an effect on them. And even in the things that they do themselves, they look over appreciating it. The small wins, appreciating it. Appreciating it. Count the small wins. Count the blessings. Being grateful that you've made it this far. You know what I'm saying? You got your health. You got your health. You got all of your limbs. could be so much worse. Don't compare yourself to other people. Their upbringing was different. Some of them had both of their parents. Some of them inherited money, right? Some of them are just literally low down, dirty people who've stolen and clawed and did very immoral things to get to where they are and got it coming for them. Some of them, you just never know what someone else's life is really like on the inside. You never know what they're really feeling like on the inside. Who they truly are. People are so good at having facades and cover-ups. You know what I mean? To the point where shit, someone you've been knowing your whole life, right? Peep game. Someone you've been knowing your whole life can one day suddenly reveal to you that the person you thought you knew was a fucking facade the whole time. 10, 20 years. They do one thing and then the apology is accepted and is, you kind of brush the shit under the rug or whatever. And then it happens again. And then it happens again. And you're like, hold on, wait a minute. Nigga, I'm seeing a pattern here. It took 20 years for the pattern to unravel. It took 10 years, right, for the facade to melt away. But it was there the whole time. It was there. Yeah, they was clapping for you in your face, but in reality, they had that knife in your back like a motherfucker. The minute you turned around. And like my football coach said, a pat on the back is only a quarter turn to a knife. Only you can pat the same motherfuckers that's patting on your back. It take that much for them to stab you in your back, to have a knife in their hand. You know what I'm saying? From patting, yeah, good job. And then whole different person. It was only that much. Just a quarter turn. See what I'm saying? And these be people that we admire at some point, compare ourselves to, and undermine ourselves, when in reality, under that facade, these are immoral people, and we're actually moral, which means that we should place ourselves above. We should put ourselves on a pedestal for being moral, for being consistent, for still going after what we want, building shit, becoming. So that's that piece right there. Others' lives will make you compare yourself to them and therefore undermine who you are. So you shouldn't let that happen. Okay, next piece. Let's go on to this next one. We talking that talk. And if you're here, man, if you still here listening, I want to say I appreciate you. Shit, it's a small channel. You could be watching anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's hundreds of thousands of podcasters on YouTube that's trying to do what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Some of them talking on their phone. Some of them have their setups and trying to do it how they want to do it. You could be listening to so many other people. So if you hear, man, and you listening to Packboy Dolo right now, you fucking with Dolo. Man, look, thank you. I appreciate you, man. I mean it from the bottom of my soul. I appreciate you, man, and I'm gonna try to stay consistent in giving you this information. You feel me? Being this internet journalist, as I talk about. So, next start point. Results can make you think less of yourself. Yes, sir. Results can make you think less of yourself. Okay? And when you think about that, you say, okay, my money's low. That's basically a mirror of me. That's a reflection of who I am because my money low. I don't have a car or the type of car that I really want. That's a reflection of me. I don't have a crib or the crib that I really want. That's a reflection of me. That makes me think less of myself. I don't have a partner or the partner or partners, the lifestyle that I would like to have. That's a reflection of me, and therefore I think less of myself. Therefore, I'm not good enough. But you are. But you are. You are good enough because you're still here. And these things can still be accomplished. You see that? You see how that works? How we're wired. We sweep everything off the damn table that says that we're capable when we look at results. We don't even think about the simple fact that, well, shit, you know what, I ain't got that. I don't have the type of money in this moment that I want, but I'm gonna go and get it. I don't have the type of car in this moment or a car in this moment that I want, but I'm gonna go and get it. Right? I don't have the type of woman or women in this moment in my life that I would like to have, but I'm gonna go and get what I want. And you have to believe that so deeply that you damn near start moving by thinking about it. It's the belief that you're capable, that you're able to put together a play, that you're able to get up and move and go get, that you're able to make the phone calls, that you're able to go out in the world and put yourself in the positions to get what you want. Is that belief and understanding that will triumph lack of results being a reflection of your sense of self, making you feel less than because of that. You have to believe within yourself that you can go and make it happen. And there's plenty ways to make all of these things happen. So instead of being the person that sweeps all opportunity off the table just based off of a now result that's in this moment, what you have, be the person that say, you know what, the reason I don't have it is a sign that I can go and get it. Just because it's not around does not mean that I can't go and get it. In fact, the simple fact that it's not around is a reason for me to go and get it, to go and attain it, and believe that. You have to want it though. You have to want it. Feel me? And we rolling into the last star point, man. If you're still here, this is a game changer. As promised. Yep. Check game. Right? Here it is. Watch this. We usually base our sense of self off what we find important, what we feel like we should have or be good at. Seems so simple, huh? We usually base our sense of self off what we find important, what we feel like we should have or be good at. Guess what? This goes back to what I said at the beginning about perfection and progression. Whatever we find important, we want to be perfect at it. And that stops us from even making any progress at all. We want to be perfect at it as soon as we examine that we find that important. We want to be perfect at the shit. We don't want to accept that, guess what? In the beginning of any endeavor, things are muddy. Shit's not awesome. Okay? It's not fucking fun. In the beginning, it's not. You have to accept that. You have to be ready for that. You have to be ready to swim through the algae and the muddy waters before you can even approach clean water where you can see what's in the water, aka see yourself and where you're at. When you start off, man, look, shit can be ugly, okay? And that's just a part of the process. But what we do, we base our sense of self off of what we find important. Therefore, saying, if I'm not perfect, okay, I find this important. If I'm not perfect at it, when I try it the first or second or third time, then I suck at it. And therefore, that means I suck. I'm not a good person. And therefore, that means that you think less of yourself. You deplete your sense of self because, right, you're not good at what you find important, or you don't have what you find is important to have in the moment at the beginning. If confidence comes from evidence, then it's evident that you're capable of having it because you don't have it. So the steps are wins. When you take a loss, that's a win. In fact, it's not even a loss. It's a lesson. You learn from it and you go again. If Floyd Mayweather thought that he was supposed to be perfect the first time he ever had a fight, he would have not went so long being undefeated. Even if the first fight was a win, he picked up lessons from that. If Michael Jordan expected to win every championship, he wouldn't have gotten 6 rings. It was his acceptance of not being perfect and understanding that he is a consistent and a constant work in progress to be the best that he can be on a consistent basis, on a daily basis. He accepted that. He didn't allow him missing a shot to cause him to say that he wasn't a great basketball player. The fact that he missed a shot reminded him that he still had work to do. The fact that he didn't win the championships reminded him that he still had work to do. He didn't let it get him down. He didn't let it deplete him. He let it fuel him and charge him up to continuously go. You know what I'm saying? To continuously keep going. Remain cool, calm, and collect with the understanding that there is work to be done. Same with Kobe Bryant. I forget that one interview. I don't really have time to pull it up because we're about to wrap it up here soon. But I'm gonna break down that interview and the psychology of Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? So remember this. When you go to basing your sense of self on the wrong things, on other people's opinion that don't even know you, don't really know who you are, don't care to know who you are. That's the thing. They don't care to know who you are, most of them. So why should you care about what they think or not thinking, or what they're doing or not doing, if they wouldn't even pitch in $1 for your funeral service if it needed to be funded? Man, this shit round. Packboy Dolo checking out. This was a good one. I really enjoyed this, man. Make sure you tap in, like, comment, subscribe. If you're still here and you finished it out with me, man, once again, thank you.